We are at the Star Trek Discovery exhibit here at San Diego Comic-Con 2017. Oh boy, here we go. Folks, I am Denobi2. Thank you for joining me once again on another visual tour. Oh, please, please, let this be good. Let this be good. I really, really want the new Star Trek Discovery TV show to be good. I miss Star Trek. I am a big, devoted Star Trek fan, and I do. I really miss it, and I really want this show to be successful. I really do. I know it's been plagued with delays, script issues, swapping of the writers, etc., etc. I can see why a lot of fans are hesitant to accept this. I mean, this is the J.J. Abrams universe. I mean, these are Klingon outfits that we, as devoted Trekkers, are not associated with. This is extravagant. This is not what we know as a Klingon. I mean, that dagger looks extremely ornamental. That's not the Worf that we grew up with, so it's really hard. This is a Klingon spacesuit. This looks more like a Borg hybrid, but this is in fact a Klingon spacesuit. It's this shit that has the fans, you know, doing backflips and somersaults. This is not what we're used to, and it's really, really hard to accept it. We, you know, as fans, we really want this to be successful. I mean, the artwork looks phenomenal. They had a lot of prints and showing you all these designs. It looks great. It really, really does. But it's gotten to the point where when you resort to Klingons as the enemy, it's kind of like, well, we're in trouble. Let's resort to Klingons or the Borg. I feel for this particular show, they should have created an original alien villain, but they're playing it safe. And I know the Klingons have been part of the Federation for a very long time, so it only makes sense that you resort to it. Look, I tell everybody and I tell my friends, give the first season a chance and see where it goes. But when you do stuff like this, where you're borrowing characters from the original series, that is Harry Mudd's outfit, because you're trying to capitalize on that. It's really, really hard. But you know, I went in there. I went to support it. I got in front of the camera. I'm gonna do my best to make this a successful show. I really do, because I don't want Spock. I don't want the show to fail, because I don't want another 10 years of silence from Star Trek. That's what happened. I really want this to continue, but it's hard. I can see me personally, I wish they would have gone forward from the Next Generation timeline to up this Kevlar timeline. It's hard. I mean, look at this comm badge. It's high tech. That's the other thing too. The technology just looks so much better than the original series in Kirk's time. So that's where a lot of the blend-in issues come into play. But they did take into account, if you look at the technology that they're using on the show, it looks kind of like a hybrid of the original series with a mashup of Star Trek Enterprise from Scott Bakula's show. So you know, we'll see. I don't like that that the comm badges are different. I don't remember that. I didn't know that there was one for medical, engineer, and so forth. I thought they had one universal badge. I could be wrong. I never grew up watching the original series, so I'm not too particularly sure about that, if each ranking had its own unique emblem. That's a Klingon rifle and a Klingon disruptor. Some Klingon, I think it's a Klingon ceremonial outfit. Again, you're assuming that the first show it's going to be Klingons, and more Klingons. Look, enough is enough. I like toys. Let's switch this up. Let's talk about toys. Let's go back to the convention center. Let's pay a visit to my friends here at QMX. Let's talk about their 1/6-figure line that they're toting. Last year, I teased you guys. Well, they teased us with the prototypes of Kirk, Spock from the Wrath of Khan, and it looks like they're close to completion on Spock, Kirk, and Khan. They look great. I mean, this is really, really cool. I have a few issues about them, though. One particularly, it's with Kirk. I think they need to tweak up his likeness. It's not a very good likeness of Shatner. That being said, though, the costume on this looks phenomenal. The stitch, it looks really, really good. This looks like the Star Trek II uniform right down to the bell bottoms. It looks phenomenal. Even from the back, it looks pretty impressive. So it's just that sculpt. They got to tweak that up. Khan, they did a really good job on Khan. I am surprised that they went with the rooted hair versus the sculpted hair. To me, it looks like Ricardo Montalban. It looks phenomenal right down to his chest. The burnt marks on his shoulder. It looks really nice. This looks really impressive. I think the Khan out of this line looks really, right down to his hand glove. I mean, look at that. That's really cool. They did a really good job on that. They also did a good job on Spock, I think. I think they did a really good job on capturing his likeness. They may, if you look at his neckline with the collar, it looks like it could use a little bit of tweaking. Again, these are still being touted as prototypes. This is not the final version. This is just something that they're showing to the fans. Like, hey, look, this is what we're doing. We're trying to gauge the response with you guys. What do you guys think? So, it looks cool. I mean, it really does. He tasks me. He tasks me, and I shall have him. This is some cool shit here. This is really cool. I connect more with this film versus the original series. Original series figures do nothing for me. Like I said, I never watched it. I can't finish an original episode series, but it's cool that, I mean, that Khan seems to be carrying the original series line and the movie line from the Wrath of Khan. They look great. Sulu looks good. Spock looks pretty decent. You know, going back to the Wrath of Khan figures, I'm surprised that there's not a Bones in there. I mean, that's the trio. It's really weird that Bones isn't in that one. But, you know, again, they are still testing the waters. Scotty looks good. James Doohan looks phenomenal. And, you know, from the back, they look pretty impressive. I'm not going to be collecting any of them. Like I said, the original series caters to a different crowd. I'm more of the next generation crowd. These figures look really good. I gotta say that I think they blew it out of the park with the sculpt of Riker. They did a really good job on Riker. They really did. I'm like, oh, that's #1. The stitching on the uniforms could be a little bit more snug. It seems like it's loose and baggy. Again, these are still prototypes, but I'm hoping they didn't. I mean, look at that tunic that Geordi's wearing, the visors. It looks a little bit off. The sculpt looks good. This is the final version Picard. This guy is out. Data could use a little bit more finesse on the paint application. Sculpt looks okay. It's not bad. It's not the worst. But again, the tunic needs a little bit more snug. They need to kind of work on the outfits. Worf looks like Worf. I mean, that looks like the next generation Worf. I thought they did a good job on this one. His uniform seems to fit him a little bit better than the other guys. So I'm hoping they do release Worf. I think the next generation line is more of a solid piece. And going back to the original series, forgot to show you Kirk, and they are advertising him with his chair, with the captain's chair, which pretty cool. And the chair does use power, so there is light. I don't know if you can see it in the video. I'm not sure if I captured it enough, but it looks good. I mean, it's really neat. You almost want to build the whole bridge with the original series. Anyway, that is my take. This is my Star Trek special episode of Comic-Con, Star Trek Discovery. I hope you succeed. QMX, I hope you guys knock it out of the park with these figures. I want Khan, I want Spock, I want Sulu, I want all of it, not Sulu. Bones. I want Bones, Spock, Kirk, and Khan. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and thank you for watching my Star Trek special of Comic-Con.